Insignias playing quite an important role, and I mean literally, they can change your performance drastically. So these materials, let's say, attributes, they're kind of rare, and some of them it's almost impossible to get with the chance that we have in this game, and crafting is really expensive one. But even if we're going to buy everything from the store, it's quite important to understand what type of insignias you should prioritize for your class specifically. So I'm going to cover all classes based on all top players specifically for these classes. And as always, if you want to stay updated with my videos, if you're enjoying my content, or if you have sometimes some questions, want to ask them, you're always welcome to my Discord server. The link is going to be in the pinned comment. Always welcome. Now to the main topic of this video. So first of all, let's begin with Magiblade, and here is the top player of this class. So we're going step by step by each character and all insignias that he is using. So for the helmet, what stuff he has? Cloudis insignia, which is going to increase critical damage, which makes sense. It's one of the most universal insignias, and I believe we're going to see it among all classes, because crit damage is quite important in this game and is going to boost your damage output by a lot. For the weapon, so Magiblade deals all damage based on magical attack, and here for the weapon he is using the magical attack insignia, also legendary one, which is kinda expensive. I might actually think to use maybe some elemental insignia, I'm not sure about it. Let's go further. Leotid's insignia to increase skill damage and also increase attack speed. This one to increase magical crit. Here again Leotid's insignia. Thunderbolt Striker to increase crit damage. Damage bonus increase 4%. Andre insignia to increase all attributes enhancement. Ancient Guardian for attack speed and cooldown rate. Again damage bonus. And skill damage. Tower Shield Mech insignia. So the moment that surprised me actually is that our previous character didn't use any elemental stuff. It actually boosts your damage output quite a lot. That's why we're going to have a look at other character, and here as you can see he's actually using the Electra insignia, which is going to deal electrical damage, also electro enhancement, which is kinda useful. For the other stuff that we have, strength intelligence, not a bad option. The other one is going to be skill damage boost, electro enhancement, magical crit, attack speed cooldown rate, damage bonus, strength and intelligence, basic attack damage, electro enhancement, and skill damage. So overall, after seeing two characters, let's summarize. Critical damage insignia for magical attack. Some are using for increasing intelligence because it's base stat. One character didn't use for the weapon the elemental insignia, the other one is using, and he is focusing on element. Which one is going to be the best option is questionable. I believe they both performing kinda decent. First of all, our first character is just destroying it with the pure damage output. The other have a chance, let's say, boost his performance with electrical enhancement. Now let's have a look at Berserker. So for Berserker, physical attack is kinda important, and here character is focusing on physical crit and crit damage, kinda balanced. For the weapon, the Pyra Insignia, so he prioritized the Pyra element. There is actually no difference in terms of which element, it's just up to you which you have the most from your stats, from your circuits and so on. So yeah, just whatever, choose by your own preferences. I still consider elemental insignias are kinda important because they have fairly decent multiplier. Thunderstrike for critical damage. Skill damage boost, basic attack damage boost, and base HP boost. Kinda balanced. Well, for skill damage and basic attack damage, I believe for physical characters this is an important parameter overall. It's like a final multiplier of all the stats and bonuses that you have is going to be kinda managed through these final stats that we see at the bottom of the list. Physical crit. Again, physical crit. Strength in intelligence. Damage bonus. Attack speed, cooldown rate. Damage bonus. And skill damage. So overall, all characters that we've seen before, they're kinda using more or less the same stuff for boosting their crit rate, their crit damage, for improving their basic stats, and also damage increase. For weapon, they are mostly using elemental for those characters which are not dealing elemental damage from their passives, let's say. And of course prioritizing only one element. Actually, for some insignias you may see there is also an additional one line which says like all classes level 25-35 active skill +1. Yeah, on the other hand we have here level 50 active skills +1. It's an important one. It basically gives you one additional level for skills which are allocated in this range for level. Let's say, for example, just show you. When we are going to our skills, so level 50 skill, for example, this one on my class on Warlock, this means that character is going to have +1 additional level. As you can see, in my case I have level 6 +3. So it gives also more damage output, more stats, better performance, maybe sometimes better cooldowns. It depends on skills. Now Elementalist. So let's have a look what do we have here. Is it going to be something new or the same stuff? Magical crit. Damage to bosses, also not a bad option to overworld 4.5. It's also again boost of your damage output, which is kind of an option, why not? Magical crit. Well, about this I'm not sure. I guess for now character don't have better alternative, because I don't know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to focus on defensive insignias in my opinion. Like more sense is going to be actually increase your stats, increase your magical attack, crits and so on. Even use lower level insignias but with some more useful stats. Attack speed, cooldown rate, crit damage, strength in intelligence. Again, this guy is using physical defense, magical defense, I don't know. for me it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, again, attack is going to be way more beneficial. Attack speed, cooldown rate, damage bonus, and skill damage. Pretty much similar to the previous one. Let's have a look at the other character, because I had quite some questions about that one build that we saw before. Magical crit damage, makes sense. The other one is crit damage. This one makes sense. Yeah, I'm using the same. Crit damage. Skill damage. Magical crit damage. Crit damage. All attributes enhancement, this is a nice one. Damage bonus. Skill damage, basic attack damage, basic HP. Damage bonus. And skill damage. So this actually makes more sense to me. I don't know, in compared to the previous character, and all elements are kind of balanced, because this character, he is able to deal elemental damage, I believe, all of types. Yeah, critical damage is skyrocketing, cooldown rate is kind of good, attack speed is nice, magical crit 73.6, but he is going to receive something from intelligence as well. Magical attack is nice, and intelligence 4.4k, spirit 2k, so he receives 18.8% crit rate for magical attacks. Not bad, not bad. Now about Warlock, let's have a look what top players have for my class. Magical crit damage, okay, that's fine. Magical attack, yeah, not a bad option. Umbra enhancement, pretty much straightforward. All attribute enhancement and cooldown rate, yeah, that's actually a good one. Skill damage bonus, attack speed, yep. Crit damage +5, yeah. All attributes enhancement, yeah, this is a good one. Damage bonus. Umbra enhancement. Damage bonus. And skill damage. Pretty much straightforward for the stats. Good intelligence, spirit, makes sense. Magical attack, skyrocketing. Crit rate for magical attacks, nice. Crit damage is kinda low, I think it should be higher. Ideally, you wanna aim for it. And Umbra enhancement 177, which is not bad. Really nice parameters, yep. For magician, we're going to have a look what he uses here, and we have attack speed. What? Umbra enhancement and insignia for Umbra attacks. Interesting. Magical crit, okay. A magical attack, nice. Magical attack. Crit damage. Crit damage. This one makes no sense to me. Umbra enhancement, okay, because he prioritized this element. Basic attack damage, okay. skill damage increase. He has quite a mix of different artifacts. Yeah, not everything finished. So let's have a look for some other character. All tributes enhancement, nice. Umbra attack, okay. Umbra enhancement, this is a good one. Magical attack, yeah. Magical crit. Magical crit. All attributes enhancement. Damage bonus. Umbra enhancement. Damage bonus. And skill damage. This one is a good example. Yep. Focusing on Umbra element, have for the weapon exactly the Insignia to transform damage into the Umbra one. Crit damage is kinda okay, magical crit is nice, magical attack is fairly high, could be better for sure, but this is a good result for, let's say, mid spender, not really bad. For the bounty hunter, okay, so on physical damage focus, crit rate, crit damage again. Let's have a look. Strength, intelligence, okay, strength, yeah. Electrical damage for the weapon. Electro enhancement. All skill levels from level 1 to 15 plus 1, which kind of makes sense because some lower skills for bounty hunter, they're dealing like the most amount of damage. Physical crit, yeah. Crit damage. All attributes enhancement. Basic attack damage. Electro enhancement. Basic attack damage. And damage during resonance. That's an interesting one. Let's have a look to other characters as well. The balanced Insignia with critical rate and critical damage. Physical magical attack. Electro enhancement. Skill damage, basic attack damage. Attack speed, cooldown rate. Critical damage. Critical damage. Basic attack damage. Electro enhancement. Basic attack damage. And damage during resonance. That's an interesting one. Okay, I didn't see any other classes before that we have observed that they were using something like that. Probably this is the point about the bounty hunter. Interesting. Now about the gunner. So what do we have here? All tribute enhancement plus 12. Pyro attack, pyro enhancement for the weapon. Crit damage. Again, this one doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know. All attributes enhancement, cooldown rate. Pyro enhancement. All attributes enhancement. Damage bonus. Attack speed and cooldown rate. Damage bonus. and skill damage. Let's have a look to the other character as well. Here all attributes enhancement, pretty much similar. Pyro attack, pyro enhancement. Physical crit, magical crit. All attributes enhancement, cooldown rate, nice, this is a good one. Pyro enhancement. Pyro enhancement. All attributes enhancement. Fully in elemental damage. Damage bonus. Attack speed, cooldown rate. Damage bonus. And the last one, skill damage. Yeah, what about the elements? 181 for pyro enhancement, that's crazy, not gonna lie. These are huge numbers, but kinda low crit damage, I don't know. I would prefer in the first place actually critical damage, and the second place the elemental damage, because anyways the effect is going to be reduced and you have to spend just a lot of resources to bring it to such numbers. It's crazy. Now for the Scytheguard, what do we have here? All attributes enhancement, electro enhancement, electro attacks, electro enhancement, skill damage bonus, attack speed, cooldown rate, crits, all attributes enhancement, damage bonus, electro enhancement, damage bonus, and the last one, skill damage. Surprisingly, everyone is using skill damage for the last one, but I believe there is no better options for now. And about the stats, so what do we have here? Physical attack 9k, crit rate 86% is nice, crit damage I consider it's kinda low, cooldown rate nice, extremely nice. For the Electro 127, not bad. Damage bonus, okay, it's good. Skill damage, nice. Yeah, overall not a bad one. Blademaiden, let's see what do we have here and what kind of improvements can we do for such type of character. All attribute enhancement, here is going to be what, Electro. The other one is going to be the electro enhancement, makes sense. The next one is going to be skill damage bonus, all attribute enhancement, cooldown rate, critical damage, all attribute enhancement, damage bonus, electro enhancement, damage bonus, and also damage bonus. Yeah, skill damage. Pretty much similar to the Scytheguard that we've seen. Here we have more electro enhancement, which is kinda nuts. This damage is insane. Multiplier is crazy. Cooldown rate, that's fine. Attack speed is kinda high. Crit damage 123. I mean, not bad again, but I think should be higher. Physical crit, nice. For physical attack, nice. Now the Cloudstrider, and here we're focusing also on the elements. Yeah, here is going to be pyro element, pyro enhancement. The other one is going to be crit rate. Here we have skill damage bonus. Here is going to be pyro enhancement, critical damage, All attributes enhancement. Damage bonus. Attack speed cooldown rate. Damage bonus. And skill damage. No! I believe didn't have a chance to change this one. But yeah, for now let it be. Magical attack is kinda crazy. Crit 93.6, insane. 145% crit damage, insane. Cooldown rate, attack speed, they're really high. Pyro enhancement 167, which is nuts. And also some damage bonuses as well. Not bad. Really not bad. And now for the Starbreaker, the last character to observe. Let's have a look. Lemons, yeah, all attributes enhancement, okay. Pyro attack, pyro enhancement. Magical crit, physical crit. Skill damage, basic attack damage. Pyro enhancement. Pyro enhancement. Crit damage. Basic attack damage. Attack speed cooldown rate. Damage bonus. And skill damage. Overall, everything is pretty much similar to each other, I should say. They're kinda unique insignias for everyone, so I will bring the whole list of insignias and we'll just summarize everything. So when we're going to insignias, for the weapon, it doesn't really matter, you should prioritize the element that you have the highest based on your circuits and some gears and some other stuff, which provides you some additional elemental stats. For the weapon, it kind of makes sense for characters who are dealing neutral damage or non-elemental, because for example for Warlock, all his skills, they are Umbra, and for him bringing any other insignia for weapon makes no sense like at all. And even if we're talking about the witch insignia, it makes no sense because he already provides all skills, all damage with Umbra effect, so it's only to get half of the effect from this insignia, which is Umbra enhancement, and the legendary insignia makes no sense at all. A lot of people, they use the Pyra attack, Pyra enhancement. Some used Electra attack, Electra enhancement. We saw a couple times this one with skill damage, basic attack damage. Yeah, this nice. Several people, they're kind of balancing their stats with, let's say, neutral. One insignia with physical crit, magical crit, and crit damage with everything. Skill damage and attack speed, some people use this as well. All attributes enhancement and cooldown rate also was quite an important one. Magical crit and physical crit, also some use this one, and Claudius Insignia also kinda an important one. From the purple, when we're going to talk about it, pink, yeah. All attributes enhancement, so the Andre Insignia was one of the most important, everyone was basically using it, and it makes sense. For characters who are focusing on Umbra enhancement, the Joker Insignia is going to be the most important. We saw a lot of damage bonus increase, this one, which is Garamas Insignia. For those who are focusing on Pyra element, makes sense to use this one with Pyra enhancement. Actually, for Bounty Hunter, we saw that they are using in the last one spot exactly this one insignia, which is damage during resonance. I believe it's for the class specifically makes sense. I guess base HP, this one makes no sense to me. Physical crit, magical crit, this is kinda a big one as well. With crit damage increase also. Thunderbolt strike, a lot of people used it. Sometimes we saw the balancing of main stats with strength and intelligence, which is kinda might be a good addition. Nobody used cry enhancement and damage to slowed plus certain percentage. Several people used attack speed and cooldown rate. Basic damage, yeah, we saw a couple as well. And the skill damage. This one basically nobody used. This one we saw only once for Warlock, and I'm using this one as well, crit damage, because again it doesn't really make sense for me to choose something with element. Anyways, I have element for all my skills and all my attacks. So overall observation of Insignias among classes, we've completed it, and I believe the patterns more or less similar for everyone. Everyone is prioritizing for weapon. The elemental one, Insignia, especially for characters who are dealing neutral damage without any element, makes sense. They are also using a lot of Insignias for critical rate, for critical damage, for damage bonuses, increase of skill damage as well, and a lot of elemental increase and elemental bonuses like enhancement, electro enhancement, and umbra enhancement. And this makes it all sense just because when we're going to have a look at the stats and which parameter is going to do what, basically elemental damage is an additional and fairly decent multiplier for damage output to deal more damage to enemies. And crit damage is quite a huge one aspect. The higher number you have, the more critical hits you're going to land, and each critical hit is going to be multiplied by critical damage bonus, which again people are focusing kinda a lot. And in this game you have a chance to bring crit rate up to 100%, so literally each hit you're going to land as a critical one, which is going to increase your performance quite a lot. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this type of observation of Insignias, the most useful, the most important. And again, at the end, just keep in mind that you need to balance your stats a little bit depending on what you're lacking, depending on your circuits, and so on, everything in combination. And again, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.